I've been a Playboy for 3 years, and it's taught me 3 insanely valuable lessons about getting girls that I wish I knew when I was younger, starting with the truth about female nature. One night I was out at the club and I introduced myself to a girl who came there with her friends. They had driven to this city from another one that was 3 hours away just to party and celebrate her friend's birthday. And on the way down, they said that it's just for a girls' weekend. They're not gonna get with guys, especially the one that I got with. And then long behold, she meets me. And now all of a sudden, all she wants to do is spend the entire night with me. She's trying to drag me around the club, hang out with her. She's buying me drinks. And then she ends up coming home with me, although she said that she wasn't going to do this. And the important thing you need to take away from this is that girls are loyal to their emotions only. And here's how, as a Playboy, you can use this to your advantage. You need to become the object of desire, the man they want to possess. And this all starts by you becoming the best version of yourself, by optimizing your looks, your physique, your style, your appearance, developing good skills like communication, charm. This is everything that's going to allow you to be a Playboy to the highest degree and get all the girls that you want. Now, this is the next thing you need to develop beyond just being the man that girls want if you want to have success. And before I knew this, I was 19 and I found myself in a relationship mostly because the girl was pursuing me. So I was starting on self-improvement a little bit. I can't honestly say it with my full heart. Like, I'd gotten on NoFap slightly. I had started reading a couple books, like 1 or 2. And then I met her and every good habit went out the window. And she kind of saw this disciplined version of me. And that's one of the things she really loved. She said this, she was like, "Oh, I love how disciplined you are. You're trying to improve your life. No one else in Florida is doing this. Every guy just wants to smoke weed and party." And that, on top of the attractiveness, is what really made her like me and see me as a potential partner. And then once we got into this relationship, things really started to fall apart because I really didn't have any true internal sense of confidence or any confidence at all. I was just kind of putting on a front as much as I could, dealing with my anxiety, putting on a mask to the best of my ability. And then a lot of my insecurities started to come through in the relationship. My discipline went out the window. I started smoking weed because she wanted to, and then it was something that I had done pretty much my whole life. So now I got back into that habit. I started playing video games again. All the dopamine triggering activities started to happen once again. It was just like a very quick downhill spiral for me in terms of habits and overall lifestyle. And she very quickly lost respect for me as a man. And this is the most important thing that you need to understand, is that when a girl loses respect for you, the game is up. There's no recovering what you've lost once you've lost your respect. You always need to keep your respect intact. And this is the most powerful thing that I can ever teach you. And this applies across the board universally, whether you're just meeting a girl for the first time and she doesn't want to talk to you, you need to keep your respect intact and walk away. If you are there trying to pursue this girl, even after she's shown that she's not interested, you look like a bitch, and no wonder you don't get any girls. If a girl says, like, "I'm not interested," basically, without physically saying it, like, there's obvious signs, I'm just like, "Cool, have a good night," and I go talk to some other girl. She respects me more, even though I was never going to sleep with her either way. And it's about the mindset that you build from the start. This is something that you're not just going to be like, "Oh, girls got to respect me in a relationship." No, it's you need to be the man that girls respect from the second you start interacting with girls. So if a girl doesn't want to talk to you, you always keep your self-respect and honor as the highest and most valuable thing. Doing this will change the game for you. And I'll give you another quick example from Saturday. I was out. I just got to Norway all by myself. I go to the club. I'm there. I met this girl on Tinder and I saw her there. We're talking. We're having an amazing night. She's all over me, absolutely really adoring me in ways like I haven't experienced in a while. She's showering me with compliments, and this is a gorgeous 10 out of 10 girl. You know, kissing, all that good stuff, right? Dancing we're having a fun night, whatever. At the end of the night, I was like, "All right, we're going back to my place." And then she was just like, she got a little bit hesitant and she talked to her friend a little bit, and I could tell something was off. And then her friend started to try and like play it off like nicely to me, like that, you know, I guess something happened. She didn't want to come home. It happens. You know, no one would have saw this coming, but you know, it sometimes happens like that. And I literally said, as soon as I caught those vibes, I was like, "Oh, well, you guys go do whatever you want to do. Have a fun night," because they invited me to join. And I was like, "You guys have fun. I'm going to go home. We'll see each other around next weekend soon. We'll go on a date, whatever." And they both literally said, "Oh my God, I respect you so much." Because instead of being the dude who just follows them around when they, like, she doesn't want to sleep with me this night. And I caught those vibes and I just understood that. And I was just like, oh, well, you guys have a fun night. I'm not going to stick around trying to hope that I can get a little bit of pussy at 5 a.m. after we hung out for a couple more hours. That if it's not going to happen at this point, it's not going to happen tonight. So might as well leave with my self-respect and honor intact. And it was resonated because now I'm still texting her. The attraction's still alive. I still have a chance. But if you lose that respect, you can never gain it back. And that's the most important thing beyond the attraction that you really need to understand. And there's one trait you need as a playboy, and without it, you won't really have that much success, if I'm being honest. So this past summer, I was in Sweden and I saw this girl make eye contact with me. She was sitting at a table with 3 friends. And as soon as I got that signal, I walked over to the table, pulled up a chair, sat down, introduced myself to her, shook her hand, said hi to her friends, and it was one of my most confident approaches to date. It's one of my favorites. And we had a great conversation after that. Her friends left, gave us time to talk, and the attraction she had for me was only 10x after that approach. And what you understand is that confidence is the most important thing you can have as a playboy. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, okay, well, that's a cool story, and if I were more confident, I'd probably have more success. But how do I actually develop confidence? Don't worry, because I'm going to break down all the traits that girls are going to associate with confidence. But before I do that, I actually built you boys a free confidence transformation guide that's going to help you go from shy and insecure like I was to an absolute beast. And I'm going to break down every step that I used in order to do this transformation. And I'm giving it to you all for free. And that's going to be the first link in the description. Now, this first trait is the basis upon which confidence is built upon. So when I was in high school, all the way up until 17 years old, I was extremely shy, insecure. I was terrified of other people's opinions and what they think about me. I really had no accomplishments or accolades. I was very much a social weirdo. I didn't have any sort of social accomplishments that would be recognized by other people. The only good things I did was like hiking, and I hiked a bunch of mountains in New York, and that was one of my biggest accomplishments, but nothing that other people would really recognize and look up to. I really hadn't built a good physique at this point. Maybe I was a little lean with abs, and besides that, nothing really good was going for me. So fast forward to now in the present moment, my life is completely different. I have tons of accomplishments and accolades that are universally recognized across every culture in the world that are going to be seen as me being a competent man in many realms. I focused on developing skills like communication, courage, confidence, all the things that actually matter, marketing, sales, like the list goes on. And on top of that, I've had successful businesses, many sales jobs. I've started to travel the world. I've gone to new cities by myself, learned how to make friends, meet girls with ease. I mean, the list goes on. I've done so much, read so many books. I know who I am as a person deep down to my core. I have a mission and purpose that drives my life, that fuels me every single day, and I have an iron mind to go behind it all. And see, the most important thing that you're gonna need to develop is self-assuredness. There's no substitute if you are not self-assured. You cannot rely on other people's opinions for your own confidence. I'll give you a quick story. I just came to Norway this weekend. I like to meet a bunch of guys too when I'm at the clubs. It's not just about girls, it's about socializing as a whole. You need to be a social person. So when I'm at the club, I'm talking to everybody. And a lot of the guys are super friendly. One guy, I told him I roll up by myself. I'm always confident in what I do. And he was like, "Isn't that a little bit weird?" I'm like, "Well, if you think so, bro, I don't give a fuck." I was like, if you think it's weird, it's weird. I don't care, bro. I'm here fucking talking to the baddest bitches in the world. Like, do you really think I give a shit that you think it's weird? All right, like, cool. I have awesome success stories. I do what I want. I go fucking hiking in the mountains here in Norway. I have my mission, my purpose. I know who I am to my core. I've got years and years of accolades and accomplishments. And since I really started trying at life, my life has exponentially improved to a degree which I couldn't even fathom when I was younger. There is nothing that you can say to me that's gonna make me insecure these days. When I was younger, yeah, But now it's a completely different story because I'm self-assured and I'm confident in who I am as a man and a person. Now, this next trait girls find wildly attractive, and it's gonna add to your confident presence like you wouldn't imagine. So when I was 19, the first time I demonstrated this was when I moved from New York to Florida with my family. And after months of being alone, isolated, getting really socially anxious and nervous about not being able to make friends and clueless, I decided to go to an 18 plus club. But that day I was so scared, I literally threw up before. I still went anyway though, and that's exactly where courage is built. And because I demonstrated courage, I believe that the universe rewarded me. It gave me a girlfriend a girl that I ended up meeting who became my girlfriend. And this was a relationship that turned bad, but it was really the catalyst that changed my entire life. And everything good in my life has stemmed from that one bit of courage that I demonstrated that day. That changed the entire course of my life in ways that I can't even explain. See, courage is what girls are gonna find insanely attractive. See, nowadays, I just came to Norway. I've said this a couple times. I rolled up to this country by myself. I just showed up. I started adding girls on Tinder. I've been getting a bunch of matches, talking, having conversations, finding the good places to go. I went to the club this past weekend by myself, just started introducing myself to people. A lot of times people will say to me, like, aren't you scared to go out to the clubs? There was a time, like, when I was 19, I was absolutely terrified. But after I've done this time and time again, facing my fears head on, doing the things that have scared me, not just in like going out and partying, but starting a business, taking on a sales job, learning how to talk to people, deal with rejection. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I've developed a level of courage and confidence that is just, it's impenetrable. You can't break this level of confidence once you've seen the things unfold the way that they have. Once you've gone to the club by yourself enough times in foreign countries and traveled to enough cities and countries, it's no longer scary. Like maybe for a second, I haven't been out to the club by myself in over 5 months before this weekend. I was a little nervous, but that's where courage comes in. Courage is acting even when you're slightly fearful. This happened to me the prior year when I went to Sweden as well. I was even there with my friend, his girlfriend, and a girl I'd been with, and we all went to a festival, and I showed up and there was just so many people, and I hadn't been social for the longest time because I was building my business, and I had actual anxiety, like this wasn't anything compared to that one, because I hadn't been social at all for the longest time, and I was like just surrounded by so many people, so many pretty girls, and I was like, oh shit, I feel this anxiety deep down. But courage is continuing to act in the face of fear until you just feel comfortable. You just have to keep doing whatever it is that scares you until you no longer feel scared of it. And lo and behold, just like a week or two later, I'm back at the club doing my thing and going out by myself, completely confident. That prior year, this same thing, this weekend was a very quick one where, I was a little nervous on Friday. I went out, it was all great. Saturday, a little bit less nervous, but today, not nervous at all. It's not the weekend, but you get the point. It's like this next weekend comes up, I won't be nervous. It's just, you have to keep doing whatever it is that scares you until it no longer scares you. There's no way to substitute building courage. And this is gonna make girls find you wildly attractive, because this is just a trait that is universally masculine, and it's just universally attractive for a man. It's like the same way if a girl was just gorgeous, right? Having courage as a man is the same thing. A lot of your attractiveness as a man, it does come from the looks and appearance like we've discussed, but it comes from your character, your inner being, and you can't fake this. It can't be faked. You have to build it. You have to build your character through doing hard things, and courage is going to be developed in the process. You have to do the things that scare you, and this is going to make you the man you want to be. If you don't know how to build your confidence at all and you're completely lost, this is the place where you're going to start. So when I was 19, I got broken up with and I hit the lowest point of my life. At that point, I was desperate for an answer to figure out how to improve my life. I was like, I can never experience this level of pain again. I was devastated. I was heartbroken, and I had nothing going for me in life whatsoever. I didn't even have a job. I had no money. I had nothing, not even a good mindset. It was just, I was at a very low point. And this is when I started holistic self-improvement. I started reading, meditating, journaling, disciplined acts like ice baths, cold showers, social challenges, going up and giving people compliments, talking to girls, cold approaching, things to start leveling up. And this is exactly what has allowed me to become the man I am now. It's all about stacking up accomplishments and accolades. So on top of that, once I built my confidence with the basics, really building trust in my word through reading, meditation, journaling, all those good things, then I was able to take on a sales job. And I actually had a little bit of success for the first time, and I got a little bit better. I was still kind of bad, got a little better. And then the next job, I actually made some good money. And then the next one, or like the next big thing I did was my business, and I ended up making over 10K a month. And it was like, the things, they stack up, but you need to start somewhere. So my solution for you is that if you don't know where to start, you need to start small. You need to start building trust in your word through the little things. Gaining knowledge is never going to hurt you. If you start picking up self-improvement books, learning about the things that you want to develop, because every book is teaching you a various different skill. And if you focus on self-development books, you're going to be learning through someone's entire life knowledge. And this is so, so powerful. On top of that, meditation. This is going to be allowing you to develop presence, calm your mind, calm your anxieties, learn who you are. And meditation is going to do so much for your mental health. And improving your mental health is also one way to really become attractive to girls, because just being a fun, nice person who's cool and has all these good traits is just universally attractive as well. So good mental health will never do you wrong, and it should be one of your biggest priorities, just as the physical is. And gratitude journaling, once again, it's all about mental health, being grateful for things, showing love and appreciation for everything you have in your life. These are the things that really allow you to start building the foundation. If you don't know where to start, that is the place to start, and then start building on it. Once you've read a book, you're like, oh wow, I can do this. What else can I do? That's literally that's like the story of my life the last 3 years has been, okay, I did this. What else can I do? Okay, I can do this. Now I can do this. And it just starts stacking until you just have this level of confidence that you can do anything you put your mind to, because you proved it to yourself time and time again. And that's what it's all about. So stacking accomplishments and accolades to your name is going to build you a true sense of confidence that you're going to know. As long as you have your memory, you're going to be like, I've done all this shit and proven to myself that I can do anything I set my mind to. And boys, once again, if you're tired of being insecure, nervous, and missing opportunities with girls because you don't have any confidence, that's exactly why I built the Confidence Transformation Guide. I'm giving you all the knowledge that has taken me years to develop into one guide that's going to allow you to shortcut this entire process and go from an absolute geek who's shy and insecure like I was as a kid to a confident beast who's able to conquer the world and get everything they want out of life, including the most beautiful girl that you deserve. So if you want that, it's completely free. The link is going to be down below in the description. You can get that now.